Thank you very much. We'll move on to our next topic, and we have a resolution before us to approve the appointment of an interim fire chief and the appointment of an interim battalion chief, both pursuant to Government Code Section 21221H. Staff report, please.
So we're going to give this report in two brief parts. The first is a little bit of background on the situation that is prompting us to move in this, what is a somewhat unusual direction of asking you to approve the resolutions that are in front of you tonight. I'll give the background, and then our Assistant City Manager, Tammy Yuki, will review the PERS retirement system requirements and the specifics of the resolution that you're being asked, the two resolutions you're being asked to approve tonight. First, as to background, the City Council is aware that for approximately 10 years now, the City has been engaged in a shared services arrangement, first with the City of Millbrae, and more recently, beginning in about 2008, among the cities of Millbrae, San Bruno, and the Central County Fire Department, which is comprised of the town of Hillsborough and the city of Burlingame. Throughout this period, we have our coordination and sharing of delivery of fire services has included a pretty aggressive effort to share staff and to integrate our operations in many different ways in the delivery of fire services to all of our communities. And we have, since 2008, been working in the direction of a full consolidation on a sub-regional basis among those four cities and the three jurisdictions. In December of 2014, a year ago, the City of Millbrae fully consolidated with Central County Fire Department, or CCFD, and the Millbrae Fire Department ceased to exist as an independent entity. At that time, we began to anticipate that that action would potentially present some challenges to the City of San Bruno in its status with respect to shared services with the several agencies, and began attempting to enter into conversations with Central County Fire Department regarding the plan or the schedule, the prospects for consolidation with San Bruno. And those discussions actually never exactly got off the ground. Central County Fire Department wisely, I think, determined that they needed a period of time in order for their organization and the City of Millbrae to adjust to their new consolidated operations before they would entertain further conversations, specifically with the City of San Bruno. In June, the CCFD board conducted a meeting, which we attended, in order to promote discussion of the potential challenges that the City of San Bruno would experience once certain individuals who remained employed by the City of Millbrae post their consolidation with CCFD and who were integral to the shared services arrangements with the City of San Bruno. Once they were taken off the payroll in December of 2015, which is now upon us, we anticipated that the situation was becoming urgent and requested in June that CCFD initiate conversations with us to clarify whether or not consolidation would be in our future. At their board meeting in September, the board did determine that it was not in their interest to pursue consolidation conversations with the San Bruno Fire Department, with the City of San Bruno. And we set a course at that point to return to an independent operation of the San Bruno Fire Department. Again, it's been approximately 10 years since our department has operated in a fully independent manner, fully staffed by San Bruno employees. And in particular, It's been approximately that long since we have employed, as a City of San Bruno employee, a fire chief. So we have consolidated or cooperated in the delivery of fire services primarily through sharing of senior department management, battalion chief, deputy chief, and fire chief. At this point, with consolidation no longer being an option for the City of San Bruno, we have a very short period of time to move towards the establishment of the fully independent department, and have developed a plan for that transition that will occur over the next approximately 12 months. That plan includes the need to quickly identify qualified persons who can assist the department in this transitionary period, both to develop talent within our organization and to conduct recruitments for the vacant leadership positions that we will now find ourselves with, and to provide continuity of leadership, strong direction, and leadership of the San Bruno Fire Department. Tammy will describe the process that we're recommending to you tonight, and that is to enter into contracts with former City of Millbrae employees who will be retired from employment with the City of Millbrae under the arrangement that was worked between Millbrae and CCFD as part of their consolidation operation a year ago. And once those individuals retire, they become subject to the PERS regulations regarding after retirement employment by a PERS agency, which we are. So there are very specific rules, there are very specific restrictions on how the city can arrange for employment of those individuals. And it's our interest tonight to seek your approval that we proceed in that direction, as I indicated, for a limited time period and strictly in accordance with the applicable PERS requirements in order to move us along the road towards the reestablishment of an independent fire department for the City of San Bruno.
As the city manager mentioned, due to the urgent circumstances, the city has identified 2 individuals pending close to retirement. These 2 individuals have over 30 years of fire service experience, and they are members of the California Public Employees Retirement System, CalPERS. In 2013, the Pension Reform Act prompted changes to the Public Employees Retirement Law, which took effect January 1st, 2013. So CalPERS essentially has 2 methods to employ retired employees. One is pursuant under Government Code Section 7522.5, which a retiree can work under emergency circumstances. Emergency circumstances are like a disaster, a flood, or an earthquake, or because the retiree has a special skill set to perform the work on a very temporary basis. There's another method that you can employ retirees, and that's under Government Code Section 21221H, which is used to hire interim retirees for executive level, management level positions, such as city administrator or department directors. The appointment must be made by the city council, and that it has to be an interim assignment, and it must fill a already vacant management or executive position. The retiree can only be appointed once and cannot be extended, and it must be for a certain amount of time. And in order to hire a retiree, there must be an open recruitment. So you have to have an open recruitment before you hire the retiree. CalPERS also requires that the retiree work a maximum of 960 hours in a fiscal year, so July 1st through June 30th of the following year. 960 hours, that's about a half time for a 40-hour-a-week employee. The retiree has to have a skill set necessary for the position. The rate of pay has to be within the published salary schedule of the employer. So what happens if the city or the retiree does not comply with these rules? Well, the retiree is unretired. They have to be appointed back and must pay back all the employee contributions from the beginning. The employer will also have to pay back the employer contributions plus interest if it does not comply with the CalPERS rules. So staff is recommending that the City Council enter into an agreement with these two individuals, Deputy Chief Dave Downing and Battalion Chief Ron Levezzo, beginning December 21st, 2015 through an 18-month period of June 30th, 2017. This will give the city enough time to recruit and go through the selection process and go through the background process. And because we cannot extend the date, we're giving us enough time to go through the entire recruitment process. Staff will be starting the recruitment as of December 21st and open it until filled until we have enough qualified candidates. The fiscal impact for appointing these employees, the retirees, there's actually a savings of $35,000, plus that includes a command vehicle from the fire chief. And then starting in 2016-17, there's a proposed additional cost to appoint these positions at $220,000. That concludes our presentation. The city manager and myself are available for questions.
Thank you. Any questions for staff?
Just a couple of factual questions. So if I get this right, you can only extend it once. You can only give the term once.
Yes.
So
You cannot extend it. You can only have the contract for a period of time.
for a period of time, and that will go from December through the end of the fiscal year. Is that enough? What if? Is that how long we're comfortable with?
So the actual agreement will go through June 30th, 2017. However,
17.
18 months.
The 19th.
I'm sorry.
The-
I looked at it wrong. I was
The
thinking
requirement
16.
for the fiscal year is you can't work them more than 960
Okay.
hours in each fiscal year.
Okay. And then just as far as the savings, I believe we've discussed or approved a new vehicle, and so you're saying that the savings includes that vehicle?
The savings does include that vehicle. We have not, the command vehicle has not been approved. We're going to come back to the city council once we get the bid and are available to proceed.
Didn't I just
It's
see something?
budgeted, it hasn't been authorized for purchase. But
Okay.
the budgeted cost is what we're referring to.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, we have these two separate resolutions, or is it?
Yes, they're
Two
two
separate
separate,
resolutions.
PERS requires two separate resolutions.
Okay.
So we would appreciate your action on them separately.
Okay, action from council?
I'll introduce the first resolution to appoint an interim fire chief.
Councilmember Medina.
Aye.
Councilmember Ibera. Councilmember O'Connell. Vice Mayor Salazar.
Aye.
I'll go ahead and introduce the second resolution to the appointment of an interim battalion chief.
Councilmember Medina.
Aye.
Councilmember Ibera.
Aye.
Councilmember O'Connell. Vice Mayor Salazar.
Aye.